Good morning folks. Today you find me on the South Tyne Trail in Northumberland, just across the border from Cumbria. My plans for today had been a little bit different. Originally I was going to go to the Lake District walking there because the forecast was for excellent bright sunny weather, but when I woke up this morning it's overcast, rather dull. So I thought instead I'd go and visit the Solway Aviation Museum, which is next to Carlisle Airport, because Google told me it was open today. When I got there I discovered it isn't. They're now on winter hours, which means they're only open on a Saturday. So instead I've come here and I'm going to be walking along the old railway line that linked Alston to Haltwhistle, and now is an attractive long distance walk. So join me as we explore some of this South Tyne Trail. One of the interesting things about walking along an old railway line is the remains of the railway that you find along the way, and here's a set of buffers. So I'm assuming there must have been some sort of siding there along here. It's always interesting to see what you're going to discover. I think this path altogether is about 10 miles long from Alston to Featherstone. I'm not going to do the whole route. In fact, at the moment I'm heading south. I'm heading in the direction of Alston. I won't get there, it's too far I think to walk today, but we'll see how far we get and see what we discover on the way. I know we've got a viaduct coming up fairly soon, which is quite an impressive viaduct, one of the most interesting features along this old route. So here we have the remains of an old platform. If I just go up here, just want to show you this unusual thing. This is an old water pump. So it's all rusted up, but I think that must have been an old water pump at one point. Sort of curious why this station would have been here, because there's actually not much around us. Those houses next to the platform are quite modern, so possibly built after the railway closed. So I'll just give you a little bit of the history of this old railway line. So I'm walking along the old Alston line, and this was a 13-mile single track branch line that linked Haltwhistle in Northumberland to Alston in Cumbria. It was opened in 1852 and it closed in 1976. But the South Tyne Railway, a preservation society, has reopened 5 miles of the track bed from Alston to the rather wonderfully named village of Slaggyford, and that's a narrow gauge railway. I think it's a 2-foot gauge railway, whereas of course the Alston branch line used to be standard gauge. So here we are at Lambley Viaduct. This is one of the most interesting sections of the walk, a very impressive feat of engineering. The Lambley Viaduct crosses the South Tyne River. It's 260 metres in length, that's 850 feet, and it is 33 metres, that's 108 feet above the South Tyne River. So an impressive structure with some fantastic views from the viaduct. Now, unfortunately, the other end of the viaduct is sealed off, so I'll have to walk across and then try and work out how I connect to the rest of the path once I get across the viaduct, but you can walk over it. You can see where the old railway tracks would have run. You don't really fully appreciate the scale of the viaduct unless you see it from below. Most of the trees now have lost their leaves, so we've seen the best of the autumn colours, unfortunately. But still an impressive view. If I just show you the view there, that's the South Tyne River. As I say, you have to have a fairly good head for heights to look over the edge. It's a long way down. So at the end of the viaduct we have what was Lambley Station, which I think is now a private house, and that's one of the reasons why you can't walk past it, which is a great pity. The South Tyne Railway have recently extended the line to Slaggyford last couple of years, so that's now 5 miles long. I don't know how much further south or north they would like to take the line. It'd be lovely to think one day it might reconnect all the way to Haltwhistle, but I think that's not going to happen anytime soon. But it would be lovely to think you could have trains running across this viaduct again. So here we are, the end of the viaduct. And there we have a plaque, Lambley Viaduct, completed in 1852 by the Newcastle and Carlisle Railway and used by Alston branch trains until 1976. And some more information over here. Designed by Sir George Berkeley Bruce, engineer, and opened on the 17th of November 1852. Closed on the 1st of May 1976. A Grade 2 listed viaduct. This is unfortunately as close as I can get to the old Lambley station. So in order to connect to the path we have to drop down to the river, but this does give you a chance to see the viaduct from a different perspective. It's just a small detour down here. So I've been to this viaduct and walked along here before, but I've never actually walked from here heading south. So it says there 3 3/4 miles to Slaggyford, so that's where maybe I'll head to. Slaggyford is the end of the South Tyne Railway. Again, just the scale of this structure is so impressive. Although I noticed they've got some trees growing out of the side there. That won't do the structure much good. And they're quite mature looking trees as well. So there we get a better view of the old station. Even got the old station sign up. That'd be a rather fun place to live. The lovely thing about this walk is it's very quiet. I've seen one cyclist so far and a couple in the car park who just arrived, but apart from that, no one else. I suspect it's one of those walks that rarely gets busy. You can see here where the wires that would have run along the railway line were attached. If you drive to Alston from the north, you will drive under this viaduct, which is quite an impressive structure. So you can see that they've braced this bridge to support the road that passes over it. I've also noticed that all these bridges here are quite wide, so although this was only a single track branch line to Alston, it does look to me like when it was constructed, maybe they originally intended it to have two tracks, certainly based on the width of the bridges and viaducts. The weather has improved so much. All the cloud has burnt away. We have a beautiful afternoon. So that's looking to the north, that's the way I've come. And if I turn the camera around, you can see that I've now arrived at the terminus of the South Tyne Railway. So this is the lovely village of Slaggerford. And this is as far as the railway goes at the moment, but it wouldn't be difficult to extend it further south, or sorry, further north I should say. I don't know if they will. Obviously it will be dependent on finances and permission from landowners and so forth. But yeah, this is Slaggerford. You might have seen some of my videos of the South Tyne Railway where I've been here previously, so do check those out if you're interested. Now, I imagine that the railway's not operating today. There is a cafe on this station, but again, I'm guessing it's probably closed today. Although I can see in the distance some men in high-vis jackets, presumably doing some work on the line. Let's have a cross over to the platform, see what we can see. Jesse, come on. So quite an attractive little station. This is the buffet car. And as I thought, it is closed. It's quite a pleasant little run, 5 miles from here to Alston. They do operate steam locomotives as well as diesels. And a very attractive signal box. Last time I was here, the signal box was actually open to the public, and I went in and the gentleman was showing me around and showing me underneath the signal box how it all operates. It was really interesting. So here we have the level crossing, as you can see. And it looks like they're doing some work ahead of us. So the path does continue along the railway line. So if I wanted, I could carry on walking to Alston, another 5 miles, but I think I'm not going to do that today. Instead, I'm going to look for an alternative route back. Hello. Hello. All right. So I've just had a quick look at the map, and I have actually decided just to walk a little bit further up the railway line, and then in a mile, maybe a bit less, there'll be a footpath that takes me down to the river, and then I'll walk down to the river and back along the other side of the valley. So I'll leave the railway line, but have a little bit of a walk along the South Tyne Railway. If you are planning to do a trip on the South Tyne Railway, do check out their website. Just had a quick look at it, and it does say that they run trains from April through to the end of October at weekends and on some weekdays, but that obviously means that the railway effectively isn't operating now until April, although I imagine they might have some special excursions put on in the run up to Christmas, Santa Express type trains for the kids. But yeah, it's primarily working only at weekends from spring to the end of October. Lovely afternoon now. That's the village of Slaggyford across the valley where the railway terminates. That's looking south in the direction of Alston. And I'm heading along this path here, directly north, back to Lambley Viaduct and to the car park where I left my car. So here we have an old mine working. So it's just before 4 p.m. as you can see. I'm starting to lose the light. Got a little way still to go, but Down in the distance you can see Lambley Viaduct. It's only a short walk from the viaduct back to the car, so I'll be back before it's dark. It's been a good walk. Done about 20 kilometers so far, so I'll probably be close to 23 kilometers I suspect by the time I get to the car park. But it's a lovely valley, the Tyne Valley, or South Tyne Valley even. If you're looking for somewhere to go walking, which is a bit quieter, then I recommend this place. So I'm now back on the path, the old railway line, very close to where I started the walk this morning. So if you've enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care, God bless.